Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to learn how to add WebinarKit Registrant for FlexiFunnels form submission and send reminder on WhatsApp. So I am a digital marketing consultant and I regularly host some webinars to provide insights and strategies to all my audience. Now, I'm using FlexiFunnels for taking the registrations of these webinars, and I also use WebinarKit to manage all the webinars. So my objective is that whenever a person is going to submit the form in FlexiFunnels for the registration of these webinars, immediately that person should be added as a registrant in WebinarKit for a particular webinar. Apart from this, I also want to send a confirmation message to all the participants that their registration is confirmed, and after this I also want to send a reminder message before the actual time of webinar to all the participants on WhatsApp. And I'm not going to use any kind of coding and programming skills to automate this entire process. I will simply use Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software to connect all these applications. And if you also want to learn this amazing automation step by step, for that you have to come towards my screen. So in this video, I'm going to show you step by step that how we can set up a connection between FlexiFunnels and WebinarKit in such a way that whenever a new registration will be submitted by form submission of FlexiFunnels, then immediately the response will be captured and the person who has submitted the form will be added in our webinar as a registrant. As soon as the registrant will be created inside our webinar, immediately a thank you and confirmation message will be sent to that registrant on WhatsApp, and before one day of the actual webinar time and date, a reminder message will also be sent automatically to the participant. Alright, so here I'm going to simply automate the entire process with the help of Pabbly Connect. So here for webinar registrations, I'm using FlexiFunnels Forms, which is an amazing online form builder application which helps us to create customized forms for different projects, purposes, and for events registration. So I have created a customized form for my webinar. So as soon as a form will be submitted by a registrant, then immediately the response will be captured. So as I told you that I am a digital marketing consultant and I regularly host different webinars on different topics related to digital marketing. So I have created a form for that with the help of FlexiFunnels. Now I'm going to integrate this FlexiFunnel form with my WebinarKit application. I'm using it in order to manage all the webinars which I am creating and which I'm hosting. So here I'm going to set up connections between FlexiFunnels, WebinarKit and WhatsApp, so that I can automate the entire process of my webinar management, webinar registrations and reminders. Okay. So now I'm going to take you towards the home page of Pabbly Connect, with the help of which we are going to create this entire automation. Pabbly Connect is an amazing automation and integration software which helps us to set up connections between different applications without the requirement of any coding and programming skills. So this is the home page of Pabbly Connect, where we can reach by tapping the URL pabbly.com/connect in our browser. After coming over here, we can find two options: sign in and sign up for free. So in case if you are already an existing user, you can directly click on sign in. But if you are a new user, you have to click on this sign up for free button to create your free new account. Also, when you will create your account, you will get 100 free tasks every month to explore this amazing software and to test multiple automations. Now, because I'm already an existing user, therefore currently I'm going to click on sign in. This is all app section where we can find all the products which are offered by Pabbly. To create this automation, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. So let's click on access now. And it has taken us towards the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. So on this dashboard, we can find all our workflows which we have created, and we can also create different folders over here to save our workflows separately and accordingly. Now, to create a new workflow, we have to go towards this create workflow option, and here a dialog box will appear. It is asking us to provide a name to this workflow. So first of all, let us provide a name over here. Add WebinarKit Registrant for FlexiFunnels form submission and send WhatsApp reminder message. After giving the name to my workflow, here I'm going to select the folder on which I want to save my workflow. You can see I have multiple folders over here. I want to select this WhatsApp marketing automations folder to save my workflow. And now let's click on create. As we have done that, we can see that two windows are open in front of us. First is the trigger and the other is action. Now what are trigger and actions? Trigger and actions are the two main concepts or principles, or we can say these are the building blocks on which the entire automation runs. Here the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. That means the action is the response towards our trigger. So whatever we are going to select in our trigger is going to command the entire workflow, and the actions are going to follow that same command. Therefore, we can have only one trigger in any workflow, but we can add as many action steps in our workflow according to our choice. Let's suppose here I want that whenever a FlexiFunnels form will be submitted by a new registrant, then immediately the response should be captured, and then the person who has submitted the form should be added as a registrant in WebinarKit. So therefore, we are going to take FlexiFunnels in our trigger and WebinarKit in our action. Here we can clearly see that action is following what the trigger commands. Because when the trigger happens, that means when the participant is going to submit the form in FlexiFunnels, then only it will be added as a registrant for a webinar in WebinarKit. So after understanding the whole concept of trigger and action, let us start setting up the connection between our applications to create an automation. First of all, we have to select our trigger application, that will be FlexiFunnels. So because I want that whenever the form will be submitted by a new participant in this particular FlexiFunnel form, then we want to receive the response of that form with all the details in Pabbly Connect. So here FlexiFunnels will be our trigger application. Let's select that. Now here, after selecting the application, we also have to select the trigger event. Trigger event is the event on the happening of which the workflow is going to trigger or start. So we have two options, new form submission or new purchase. I want that whenever a form will be submitted, then the response should be captured instantly. So new form submission will be our trigger event over here. As we have done that, we have received one webhook URL along with some instructions. We have to follow these instructions step by step carefully to set up our connection between FlexiFunnels and Pabbly Connect. And this URL is going to act as a bridge for transferring the data of new form submission from FlexiFunnel towards Pabbly Connect. So let's simply copy this URL and then I'm going to tell you exactly what we are supposed to do. So first of all, it is given that you need to log into your FlexiFunnels account. I've already done that, so I'm going to take you over there. After coming on your FlexiFunnel account, you have to go towards the project. So this is my project. We will go towards project settings. And over here we can see that this is the form which I have created. So on this form, when you will select the form which you want to connect, you have to go towards edit page option. And this is the page which is open in front of us. So these are all the fields. You can add or delete the fields according to your choice from your form. Now you have to select one of the field from this form. And when you will do that, it will show you the option of this setting. So let's select this gear option of settings. Under this, we will find the option of settings once again. Over here, we can see after coming on settings, this is the option connect here. So we have to select that. After this, we have to go towards webhook option and then we have to add our webhook URL. So first of all, we have to give the name to our webhook. So here I'm going to give the name as, let's say, new webinar registration. Okay, according to your purpose, you can give the name to your webhook. And now here I'm going to delete the existing webhook from this field and I will simply paste a new webhook URL which we have copied from Pabbly Connect. After adding the webhook URL and giving the name to your webhook, you just simply have to click on save. As we have done that, we can see that our webhook is successfully updated. Now once again, you will click on save over here and here we can see that our webhook setup is successfully saved. After saving the webhook setup, we have to publish this. So let's click on publish option and here we will wait for some time. And we can see that the update is done. Webhook is published. So when we will click on this action button given on the right of publish, here's the option of publish URL. So let's click on that and it is going to take us towards the page, that is the form which we have created. So this is my Pabbly webinar form page. With the help of this form, we are going to get the registrations. Okay, so here when the person is going to submit this form, immediately we are going to receive the response in Pabbly Connect. As you can see, it is showing in Pabbly Connect waiting for webhook response. So now I'm going to do a test submission so that the response could be immediately captured and we can check our integration. So let's start with the name. Let's say the name of the person who is registering for the webinar is smart user and let's say the email of this person is smart689@pabblytudes.com. Now I'm going to enter the phone number and now I'm going to click on submit. So these are all the dummy details. As we have done that, here we can see that the form is submitted. So let's go back towards Pabbly Connect. We will wait for the response over here. And yes, here the response is received. In this response, you can see that we have received all the details. This is the name of the user who has submitted the form. This is the email address and here is the phone number. Now, when we have received this response, this means that our connection between FlexiFunnels and Pabbly Connect is absolutely successful. So our objective is to add this person who has submitted the form as a registrant in WebinarKit. So for that, now we have to set up connection between WebinarKit and Pabbly Connect. Once again, we will go back towards Pabbly Connect. We will go towards our action step and here our action application will be WebinarKit. So let's select that. Now we have to select the action event that will be new webinar registration. Let's click on connect. WebinarKit is an amazing platform which helps users to create and host webinars efficiently, effortlessly, and effectively. So with the help of this, you can create your webinars according to your time, according to your date and duration, and you can add and manage the registrations of these webinars effectively. Okay, so here we are going to automate the entire process of adding registrants in the webinar. So this is my WebinarKit account. When we'll go towards the webinar section, these are all the webinars I have. Okay, I want to create this automation for this Pabbly webinar webinar, as I've told you, I've created a form for this. I want to add the registrants from FlexiFunnels towards this webinar. Okay, so we'll go back and now we are going to click on add new connection to build the connection with WebinarKit account. Now, in order to build the connection, we have to provide one token. So from where we are going to get that? For that, the instructions are given over here. We just have to open our WebinarKit account. We have to go towards profile section. Under profile, we will find the option of settings. Under that, we will have the option of API access. So this is my account. We will go towards profile section. Under here, we have the option of settings. And when we'll scroll down over here in setting, we will find the option of API access. So this is the API key which we have to copy and paste in Pabbly Connect. As we have done that, let's click on save. And our connection between WebinarKit and Pabbly Connect is absolutely successful. Now we have to move forward and we have to enter the details in these fields to create the registrant. First of all, before that, we have to select the webinar ID, that in which specific webinar you want to add the registrants. As I've told you that my webinar is Pabbly webinar, I'm going to select that from the drop down. Okay, after selecting the webinar ID, here we have to provide the email address of the registrant. We have already received all the details of the registrant in our earlier response, that is from FlexiFunnel response. We will simply use that same response over here because we are creating the automation. And here we will insert the data from previous step, that is called as mapping. So when we map a data, it becomes dynamic. Now when we are going to select the email from our previous response, it has become replaceable. That means now it is going to change with each and every new response. So whenever a form will be submitted by a new person in FlexiFunnels, immediately the data which we are going to map are going to replace automatically. The data which we are going to map over here is going to replace with the new data of that new person. And in this way, we will be able to automate the entire process of adding registrants in WebinarKit for a particular webinar. Alright, so now we have to move forward towards entering the first name, last name and other details. So we have received the name also in our earlier response. But we can see that in the response here, I have received only the full name. And because we require the name in the separated fields over here, first name and last name separately, therefore we have to split the name. So we'll use a step in between for that. Let's click on this add action step button in between. And here our action application will be text formatter. So text formatter is an inbuilt feature of Pabbly which helps us to automatically format the text in our workflow according to our requirements. Here our action event will be split text. Let's click on connect. As we have done that, here it is asking us text to split, that which text you want to split. I want to simply split the name which I have received. So I'm going to select the name. I have mapped that, so it is going to change with each and every new response. Now after mapping the name, it is asking us a separator. Separator is the value by using which we have to separate the text. So I want to use space as the separator. I will simply split the name with the help of this space. So I will split first name and last name separately. So it is given that if you want to use space as the separator, then you have to use it in the format. So I have simply copy and pasted the given format. Now it is asking us segment index, which segment of this particular text you want. I want both first name as well as the last name, so I'm going to go with all. Let's click on save and send test request button, and here we have received the first name and last name separately. So because we have mapped this name over here, whenever a new response will be captured from the FlexiFunnel form, immediately, instantly and automatically the name will be split. So here we will simply map the name now. So first of all, let's map the first name, and now we'll map the last name. Alright, the next is the country code. Here we have to enter the country code and the phone number in the separated field. So now we have to split the country code and phone number as well. But we cannot directly remove the country code from this particular number. We have to first of all change the format of this number into the country's format, and then we have to remove the extra 0 from this number. Then we will be able to map this. Okay, we will simply click on this add action step button once again. And here we will simply select number formatter. Number formatter is again an inbuilt feature which helps us to format the number according to our choice. Here our option will be format phone number. Let's click on connect. Now it is asking us for the number which we want to format. So this is the number. I've mapped that. It is asking us in which format you want to change the number. So we have multiple options over here. I'm going to select national format. Okay, I do not want to enter international format. So here I've selected the format. Now it is asking us the country code. We have received the country code in our response. So let's simply map that, and now let's click on save and send test request button. As we have received the response, we can see that this is the phone number without the country code, and we have also received one 0 extra. So every time when we are going to format the number into the national format along with the country code, in front of the number we will receive one 0. So in order to remove the 0, we will have to use one more action step, because in order to add the registrant in WebinarKit, we have to use only 10 digits of phone number. Alright, so we are going to click on this add action step button once again. And this time here, once again, we are going to take text formatter. So with the help of text formatter, we are going to extract the phone number from the given phone number. Okay, let's go towards our action event. That will be text parser. So we are going to parse the phone number from the text. Let's click on connect, and here it is asking us for the text which we want to parse out. So here is the phone number, and from this phone number we have to remove the extra 0 which is given in front. Okay, so what we will do here, it is asking us text match after and text match before. That means the text which you want is given after. So the text, that means the phone number which I want, is given after this 0. So I'm going to enter 0 over here. And here I'm going to keep text match before blank, because the phone number is the last thing which I want and it does not have anything after that. Okay, so now I'm going to click on save and send test request button, and we can see that the phone number is received. So here, because we have used 0 as the text match after, it is going to retrieve the phone number after 0, and if there will be a 0 in between of the phone number, it is not going to consider that. So in this way you can format your phone number and extract out the real phone number out of it. Alright, so now when we have received the exact phone number, we will simply map that in the phone number field. Okay, after mapping the phone number, let's move forward. Here we also have to enter the country code. So I will simply map the country code which we have received, and I will enter plus over here in front of that. Okay, now we'll move forward, and now it is asking us webinar presentation date as well as a full date. So we have to enter the webinar presentation date in this particular format. So for that, I'm going to take you towards my WebinarKit account, and here we will go towards the webinar. So this is my webinar. When I'm going to open it, and when we will scroll down, here's the date and the time on which the webinar is scheduled. So the date is 4th of July 2024, and this is the time. Alright, so what we have to do, currently the time and the date is given in Asia Kolkata time zone. We have to change the time zone of this date into UTC ETC. It is given that you have to enter the format of date and time in this format. This is UTC format. Okay, we will go back and we will add one more action step over here. With the help of date time formatter, we can format the date and time along with the time zone. So here our action event will be date time formatter. Now we have to select the action event, that will be format date with time zone. Let's click on connect, and it is asking us the date which we want to format. So here we have to enter the date manually. So for whichever webinar you are setting up this connection, you have to give the scheduled date and time of that webinar. You have to enter it manually. So the date is 4th of July 2024. I'm going to enter it over here, and the time is 12 noon. Now we have to select the format in which we have received the date. So this date is given in which format? We have this year, month, date, hours, minutes and seconds format. Okay, and now we have to enter the to format, that is in which format we actually want to get the date. So this is the format in which we want the date, year, month, date, T, hour, minute and seconds along with this Z. Okay, so we have to select this time zone along with the T in between, and now it is asking us from time zone, that in which time zone we have received this date. So we have received the date in Asia Kolkata. As you can see, my webinar is scheduled in the time zone Asia Kolkata. So we have to select the from time zone as Asia Kolkata. Now we have to select the to time zone, that in which time zone we actually want the date. As I told you, we have to format the date and time in this UTC time zone. So we have selected that. Let's click on save and send test request button, and here we have received the date and time in the correct format, and we will simply map the date which we have received in the correct format. Okay, done. Now it is asking us the full date. We also have to enter the date in this format, that is Wednesday 22 June at this particular time. Here I'm going to enter the full date. Okay, Thursday, July 4th at 12 p.m. Okay, we are going to click on save and send test request button, and it is saying that yes, the registrant is added in the webinar for this particular time and date. Let's go and check whether the registrant with the name as smart user is added or not. So we'll go back towards the webinars. When I'm going to open the analytics of this webinar, Pabbly webinar, and we'll scroll down, here are the details of the registrant. So we can see that this is the registrant which we have recently added along with the name as smart user, and this is the same email address. As we have received this response, that means our connection up till now is absolutely successful. So now whenever a person is going to submit the FlexiFunnels forms for registration of the webinar, immediately that person will be added in the webinar as a registrant. And as the registrant is added, now I want to send the confirmation and thank you message to this registrant that their registration for the webinar is absolutely confirmed. So for that, I'm going to set up connection between WhatsApp and Pabbly Connect. So here I'm going to use a template for sending WhatsApp messages to all the participants in the customized format. For that, I'm going to use WhatsApp Cloud API. So I'm going to set up connection between WhatsApp Cloud API and Pabbly Connect to send the WhatsApp message. Let's click on this add action step button. And here you have to select your action application as WhatsApp Cloud API. Here I'm using WhatsApp Cloud API for sending template messages, but you can definitely use any other application as well. Any other WhatsApp API such as AI Sensi, Vati, or MSG 24/7, etc. Okay, now here I'm going to select the action event that will be send template message. We'll click on connect, and to build the connection, we have to go towards add new connection. So if you already have an existing connection, you can also go with that. But currently I'm going to create a new connection. And for making that new connection, we have to provide 3 details: token, phone number ID, and WhatsApp business account ID. From where we are going to get all these details. For these details, we have to first of all set up our WhatsApp Cloud API account. And for learning the full steps of setting an account, we also have a video on our YouTube channel. Along with that, if you want, you can also go towards this hyperlink, learn more, to check all the steps. Now, here we have to first of all provide the token. I've already created my account, so we have to go towards Meta for Developers. Under Meta for Developers, this is App Dashboard of WhatsApp Cloud API. Over here from the left side, we can find the option of API Setup. When we will come on API Setup, these are all the details which we have to use. So first of all, let's copy the temporary access token. This is currently the temporary access token which I'm using, but if you want to create a permanent access token, for that you can go towards the learn more link over here. It is going to take you towards Pabbly forum page. Under there, you will find all the steps which you have to follow in order to set up this token. Okay, I have copied the token, so I'm going to paste it over here. Now the next is phone number ID. Let's copy and paste it over here. And at last, we will copy the WhatsApp business account ID as well. Done. Let's click on save. As we have done that, we can see that WhatsApp Cloud API account is successfully connected with Pabbly Connect. So let's move forward. Here we have to select the template name, language code, and other details in order to send the message. So I'm going to once again take you towards WhatsApp Cloud API account. When we'll scroll down, here is the option of to create your own message template. Click here. So let's click on this hyperlink. It has taken us towards message template section of WhatsApp Cloud API. Here we have all the templates which we have created. I have created 2 templates over here. First is for sending webinar message, that is confirmation message, and the second is for Pabbly webinar reminder. So I've created 2 templates over here. Among these, currently I want to send the confirmation message to the registrants that their registration is confirmed. So here I'm going to go towards this template, webinar message template. I'm going to open it. And you can see that this is my message. Hello dummy user, thank you for registering for our upcoming webinar. We are excited to have you join us. Date, time and topic. Please save this message for reference. If you have any questions or need further assistance, feel free to reply to this message or contact us at this particular number. Looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you. Best regards. You can see that this is the confirmation message that the registration of the participant is successful for our webinar, along with all the details. So here I have used some variables. Here in the place of name, I have used a variable so that with each and every new response, the name could change. And wherever we are going to use variables in our template, the details of that place will get changed with each and every new response automatically. And in this way, we will be able to automatically send WhatsApp messages to all our customers, to all our participants in the customized format. Okay, so you can also use variables according to your choice, as much variables as you want in your template. This is just a basic template I have created, but you can definitely customize your template according to your choice. Once you will set up this template, you also have to send it for approval, and when it will get approved, you will be able to use it in order to send messages. So my template is approved currently. I'm going to go back and I'm going to select my template name. So this is the template webinar message template. I have selected that. And now we can see that as we have selected the template name, the language code of the template as well as the template ID is already selected over here. Now we have to move forward and we have to enter the recipient mobile number and the body field. So first of all, let's quickly map the phone number. Here we have to enter the phone number along with the plus sign and the country code. So we have already received the phone number like that only. I have mapped that. Now we have to enter the body field. Body field is the value for the variable which we have used in our template. As I told you that I have used a variable for the name in my template. So now we have to provide the values which I want to be there in the place of the template instead of the variable. So I want to use the name of the registrant. So here we have received the name smart user. I have mapped that. Okay. Now when we have mapped the data, as I told you, it is going to replace automatically. So now we are going to simply click on save and send test request button. But before that, here because I've mapped the dummy phone number as we have entered dummy details while submitting the form. So to show you a real message which is going to be sent on WhatsApp, so I'm going to use a real phone number in place of this. So I'm going to enter my real phone number over here. So I've entered the phone number. Now let's click on save and send test request button. It is given in the response that the message status is accepted. That means the message is sent on the number which we have entered over here. So I'm going to take you towards WhatsApp and you will check whether the message is received or not. And yes, here you can see that the message is received. Hello smart user, thank you for registering for our upcoming webinar. We are excited to have you join us. You can see that in place of name, the name is changed to smart user. These are all the details and here is the message. This means that our connection is absolutely successful up till now. So here we have set up a connection that whenever a form will be submitted for event registration in FlexiFunnels, immediately the person who has submitted the form will be added as a registrant in WebinarKit for a particular webinar, and then a confirmation message on WhatsApp will be sent to that registrant. Now, apart from this, we have registered multiple participants for the webinar, but it might be possible that due to busy schedule, people will not be able to attend our webinar. Then the seats will get wasted, our time, cost, resource, everything will get wasted. Okay. So here what we can do, it has a perfect solution that we can send a short reminder message to all our participants just before exact one day of the webinar. So in this case, the registrants will not be able to miss the date of the webinar and they will be able to join on time. Okay, just by sending the reminders to them. So I want to send a reminder message to all the participants, all the registrations on WhatsApp just one day before the actual date of the webinar. For that, here what I have to do, I have to further continue this work. I have to subtract one day from the actual time of webinar. How we are going to do that? For that, we have to click on this add action step button. Here our action application will be date time formatter once again. Here we are going to click on date time formatter, and here now we are going to select our action event that will be add or subtract time. With this feature, we can add or subtract the time which we require from the actual time. Here I want to subtract one day from the actual webinar time. Okay, here I'm going to click on connect, and now it is asking us enter the date. So the date will be, so this is the date. We have to enter it in the exact format, that is in the UTC format. Okay. Now it is asking us expression. What do you want? It is given enter the amount of time you would like to add or subtract from the date. Negative value subtract time and positive will add. So here I want to subtract the one day. So I'm going to enter negative value, that is minus sign, and I'm going to enter 1 and then I'm going to enter 1 day. Okay. I want to subtract 1 day from this date. Now it is asking us in which format you want the dates. Now it is asking in which format you want the date. So I want the simple format, that is year, month, date, hour, minute and second. So I have selected that. Now it is asking in which format you have received the date. So we have received the date in this year, month, date along with T, hour, minute and seconds. Okay. Now we are going to click on save and send test request button. Here we can see that the response is received. So as you know that the webinar date and time which I have scheduled is for 4th of July 2024. Okay. Now when we have subtracted one day from that date, we have received the actual date of 3 July 2024. I want to send the reminder message to all the participants on this particular date. So now after we have formatted and received the date, we have to delay this workflow which we are creating until this particular date, because now we want to send the message directly on this date and we do not want to do anything extra after that or before that. Okay, so we are going to click on this add action step button to delay our workflow, and we have a feature in Pabbly Connect which can make our workflow delay. So here we will select the action application as delay. Delay is an again inbuilt feature of Pabbly which helps us to delay the workflow up till and unless we want. Okay, here we have the action event that will be add time delay. Let's click on connect it, and it is asking us how much delay you want to put in your workflow. We have two options over here, delay for or delay until. Now, if you want to delay your workflow for certain duration, for example, if you want to delay your workflow for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 2 days, 30 days, etc., then you can go for delay for option. But here, because we have a specific date until which we want to delay our workflow, so delay until will be used. Okay, we have selected delay until. Now it is asking us the delay date, that until which date you want to delay the workflow. You have to enter the date in this format. We have already formatted the date. So let's simply map the date until which we want to delay our workflow. This is the actual date. That means the date on which we want to send the WhatsApp reminder. Okay, this is 3 July 2024. We have mapped that and it is in the correct format. So let's click on save and send test request button. Here we can see that our workflow is delayed until this date. So when this date will arise, that means on 3rd July 2024, what we wanted to do, we wanted to send a WhatsApp reminder message to the participant. So when this workflow is going to run until it is delayed, so it is going to send the WhatsApp message. Let's click on this add action step button, and once again we have to set up connection between WhatsApp Cloud API and Pabbly Connect. So for that I have created another template which I'm going to use. Okay, here we are going to select the action application as WhatsApp Cloud API. Let's quickly connect that. Here our action event will be send template message. We'll click on connect, and because recently I have built a connection, I'm going to go with existing connection only. And here we are going to simply select the template. So I've told you I've created 2 templates, and this time the template will be used as Pabbly webinar reminder. Okay, this is the template which I've created for sending reminder message to all my audience. Now the language code and the template ID is selected. Here quickly I'm going to enter my phone number, and the next is the body field. So the body field is again the name of the participant. Okay, now let's click on save and send test request button. We have received the response. In the response it is saying that the message is accepted. Let's go and check whether the message for the reminder is sent. And yes, here we can see that we have received a reminder message, webinar reminder, hello smart user. Again the name is replaced. This is a friendly reminder about the upcoming webinar you registered for. The date, the time and the platform. We are excited to have you join us. Please make sure you are already ready and have a stable internet connection. So these are all the instructions given in the reminder message. Along with this, here we have the details of the webinar as well. This means that our connection is absolutely successful. So once we have set up this connection successfully, now currently because we were setting up the connection, here the message is sent recently. But once you will set up the connection, your integration is ready. Then when the workflow is going to run in real time, whenever a form will be submitted for a new webinar from FlexiFunnels, then immediately the registrant will be created in WebinarKit for that webinar, and then a thank you message will be sent immediately to that person that the registration is confirmed. But the reminder message will be sent only before the 1 day of the actual date of the webinar. Okay, in this way you can very easily create this automation. You have to just give 10 to 20 minutes of your day in order to create this automation. Once you will do that, you will be able to very easily manage all your webinar hostings, creating, adding registrants, sending reminders, all the steps automatically and effortlessly. So I hope this video was helpful for you and it is clear to you. I'm going to attach the link of this workflow which I have created so that you can use it in the description of the video. I hope it was helpful for you. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but you can integrate multiple such applications without any coding or programming skills with the help of Pabbly Connect. Now, if you have any doubt, you can reach out to us at support@pabbly.com. If you want to ask any query, you can reach out to us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issue, you can reach out to the website given over here. Now, if you find this video helpful, do not forget to share it with your friends, and also please like our video and subscribe our channel for more such amazing automations.